30.
Oh, snap. You up in Chicago?
I'm here now, yeah.
Yeah, yep. I saw that weather and I'm like, how?
Oh my God. I don't understand for 1 second how this weather, we went from shorts. Like, I genuinely saw women walking around in shorts. You saw legs, you saw men out here. You know, I'm
Yep.
in Chinatown. It was just, white men
Oh,
jogging,
of course.
biking. I woke up, y'all hear this. Y'all hear this, people. I would have given y'all my casual good morning, good evening, but nah, Mother Nature is scary this morning. We are still in our time capsule series today, and I got somebody that I'm very intrigued to ask the question to, because I actually saw this guy during the time frame of when we'll be making this video. I got a good man, my man here. I don't even know what you are at this point, because I feel like you're like a public speaker slash saxophonist slash producer slash teacher slash librarian slash. Do I need to keep going?
Nah, you don't have to.
Oh no, man, we toot horns around here because if it's always been shined, looked down upon by many people to toot your own horn. But no, fuck that. It's no sound pretentious. Shout that shit out. We are in the age of time. We are in this time right now, especially in the like once you hit the age of like 17 until is when you should be blatantly shouting out the shit that you're good at and the shit you do, because that's what
See,
people don't
see,
know.
see, see. Now, when I was 17, I was every bit of my Leo self. So I was doing. I'm talking about blind confidence. I'm talking about actual definition arrogance. We in there, right? And
Period.
then I went down south for school, and they humbled me. I ain't even gonna stunt. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know everything. I didn't know everything. And so you know, back then they're like, "Hey, calm down," and I'm like, "Okay, sure, whatever. I'll calm down if it keeps me from getting jumped." And then you fast forward in life, and you didn't calm down, but now everybody wants you to turn up, and it's like, screw you guys, screw everybody.
That brings me to the big question, because we're in our time capsule series right now. So I'm asking all my guests right now the same set of basic question.
Okay.
If we treated the rest of this video, you won't have to rank it. If we treat the rest of this video as a time capsule video where we would send it back to teenage you,
Mm-hmm.
what statements and messages would you want to send to teenage you, in specifically in regards to your relationships, not just romantic, but with just people and interacting? Because I love that
Uh,
you said that. Because like how y'all told me I was loud. I know my voice is punchy. I know I get it, Tiz. But now that I'm at this age, I want me to be all like,
right now that's expected, man. What I would tell me is to really not pay attention to my social circle before the age of like 26. Yeah, because everything else I was doing was fine. And then also I didn't hit me it didn't hit me till like junior year of college that the people around me couldn't do anything for me. I'm talking about, like, I'm in college, I'm worried about my friends' opinions, but they can't do nothing for my grade. They can't feed me. They don't wake me up. They don't help me do shit. So I'm sitting here like, wait, can I curse on this thing?
oh yeah.
Oh, okay, turn the fuck up. All right, so I couldn't. I'm sitting here like, they can't do shit for me. What I'm over here asking them fucking advice for? What the fuck can they tell me? Hold on, I'm asking for relationship advice, nigga. You'd have been in exactly as many relationships as me for
Bro,
less time.
see,
So I'm
that's
over
on
here
the
asking these folks for advice on stuff. I'm listening to their opinion about my path. And meanwhile, I would just tell me like, hey, screw your social circle, get you a mentor, get in the space that you're trying to be in. Cause I'm a producer now, but when I did my internship in Chicago, when I was in a studio, Paragon Studios, they may be non-existent now, but it was a good space. Um, Instead of me going like, hey, let me get up under this producer, even though I don't like him personally, that shouldn't have been a factor. That's a personal opinion. That's me worried about him, worried about me. This motherfucker got information. This dude got technique, and I'm over here
mm,
worried about opinions and stuff. And I'm like, and I didn't learn as much as I could. So I'm sitting here like, if I was just worried about the right stuff, I'd have been practicing the right way. I'd have been, everything else would have been smooth. That's the only thing I was doing wrong was, and then the people that I was worried about, they don't even hang out with each other no more. So it's like, fuck y'all twice.
No, man, what is it? A sunken cost theory or something they call it, where you since you've given so much time to something, you kind of want to see it through. Most people
Hmm.
only think about that with marriages, but no, it's with friendships. It's the most evident because like we've been friends forever, but are we? That's just a real because I don't see a problem with calling somebody an acquaintance.
Hmm.
Like, oh, they cool. They're the
Yeah.
homies.
Right. Homie is my go-to.
Especially work for like I feel like old work friends kind of trump some people that I've known for years. Especially
Mm.
I don't even know when this episode is released in time, but it's another couple of people that's in these time capsule series that were like work friends. I'm like, you're my
Hmm.
life friend now,
Yeah.
opposed to
But I
folks.
gotta I know why though. If you think about it, you work what 6 to 8 hours for 5 days a week. You spend more time with them than you spend with yourself.
No, for real. The whole time when your brain is live, awake,
Hmm.
and moving, this motherfucker.
Yeah, and,
Hey,
and and really friendship, any relationship is mostly about proximity. You gonna fall in line with the group. Either you gonna be in the group or you gonna be out the group. Either way, you in the group.
no, that's what I tell. With it's a lot of what is it? I referenced the I love where anything. So I'd be looking up random animal facts. It's a
Okay.
maned wolf. You ever heard of it?
The say that again.
It's a maned wolf. It's like
Maned wolf. Yes, I love wolves.
it's that fox. It looks like imagine a fox but with really long legs, like
Yes,
ridiculously stretched out legs. They look dope as fuck.
and
They
they
look
red.
dope as fuck. But like the thing that makes them unique, they mate but they don't live with their partner. Like they'll live like a mile apart from their partner. They'll come together to eat, come together to mate, and then like leave.
Wow.
And it's like there are a lot of humans that are starting to evolve or some. I'm not even gonna say evolve. There are a lot of humans that want to do that, and it's like they try to mate with creatures that mate for life. Like y'all try to do that shit with like flamingos. You can't have a
Yeah.
maned wolf and a flamingo. From flamingos, you know the heart people listening to hearts. They have their necks connected. That's not cute for real. Because if
No, they
one of those
fighting.
flamingos died, the other one was gonna die shortly after.
Yeah, no, that's a battle royale. If you don't know, like that's really a versus pose. But we didn't turn it into a heart. Uh, but with that mate for life deal, that's kind of imposed on us. I ain't even gonna stunt. Like I don't think us as humans, we're a pack, we're a group, we're a community. We're not a single family unit. We don't even thrive best as a single family unit. We thrive best as a fucking community where we all
We
help each other.
we
And so
do.
as I'm a naturalist as far as like the animal in us. The animal in us ain't really the fact that we are mated one to one and we find anybody else sexually attractive tells me that there's some wiring that's been miswired because that shit don't make sense to me. If we naturally supposed to only be attracted to one motherfucker for life, we should naturally be attracted to only one motherfucker for life. Instead,
Let's
we
talk
gotta
about
try.
let's wait. Let's talk about that for a second.
They
Wait.
said, they said, they said, look,
Wait
they
a
said, look,
minute.
you gotta fall in love. You gotta choose your husband or wife every day. And I'm down for that. I'm engaged right now, and I love that woman. But it's really more so like I'm not gonna cheat on her because the dating pool is trash. Anybody that's trying to get in on some shit, is really trying to ruin my life. Not even trying to get in on me or her. And if she's trying to get in on her without me, fuck her. Uh,
Let's
that
be
and then on one sided with it, you know what I'm saying? There's a hurt and a hurt involved. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even
let's put a pause. Let me pause you right there. Let's line some stuff up. Let's line some stuff up so we can make it make sense. Because the thing that I want to advertise that makes DTM Network unique is my genuine personal opinion is actually genuinely down the middle
mm,
because I'm a fucking sociopath. So a lot of things that people care about, I genuinely can't generate feelings about. So I genuinely see that I see the BS. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I call BS on the human race.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of things that I view too. I call BS on me on a lot of these things. But hey, sociopath. So I see it. I can honestly admit, no, it's bullshit. It's
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. I know it. I am not a nice person. I am not a good person. Anybody in mass groups who think I'm a good person means you only knew me as a teacher, which means you only saw me doing my job. You don't know me
Right.
off the clock. I am not a good person. I'm only good to my tribe
But
because I'm a troll.
nice is a courtesy. My homie, he once put up on me that like having like being courteous is one of the rudest things you could do. Because how you went out your way to open the door for somebody, you expect them to say thank you? That's rude.
See, this here's hence why, and I love that you just said that. Hence why, because the we have like this the best place to start. No, it's the current state of despair we're in, like as a society as a whole, because like we know all the information. Boom.
Right.
There are lines drawn everywhere, and there's unfortunately because of the way we have built society, because us as humans, as Homo sapiens, and not just us, as mammals, in general, anything that breathes, we like competition, we like battling. Rams
Mm.
butting heads, cute video of apes of gorillas fighting. If you've never watched gorillas fight, it's it looked like us. Like fight like people, his body blows. It's like, oh, did we learn from that? But
Mm.
unfortunately, as we have constantly developed and we have folks saying woke and consciousness, higher levels and education and blah, 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 it's just a more versus because no one is getting to an answer. We are getting to answers the same way people have nervousness about medicine. Medicine is designed after who's paying for it. If we
Mm.
all had like one general consciousness saying, hey, what's the actual answer? Because what you just said was kind of that's a very not it's not narcissist. What is it? Cynical. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. That's a
Mm.
very cynical way to look at manners. And the problem is we know that there are like half the people we meet are not going to extend the manners.
Mm.
And
And
that's
that's
what makes
fine.
it.
But
But
see,
see
that's
that that's
100%
what's
fine.
weird though. The weird part is because like let's dive right to the because you're a deep thinker. Let me dive
Yeah,
right
because
into
I
the
got something to say. I'm just waiting for the opening. Because I
because
got a full response, bro.
I can feel it. I know it. It's just
Uh-huh.
I like to because I'm kind of an anti podcast in the sense because certain questions people talk about they get stuck in the explaining phase,
Mm.
right? And it's like all right, cool, and they stop when they get to because once you're past the explaining phase, you're at the cringe question.
Mm. What do we
You,
do?
now we're at right, and that's the part where we usually have to pause because we have to get everyone on the same page, but we never go past the cringe question. We just
Mm-hmm.
stop there, and then we meet on this weird, like, all right, agree to disagree type shit. I like to start there.
Mm.
That's like let's start at the cringy part of it, because like, with most questions, like in this topic area, like with manners as a whole, is really it's the hurt people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like let's start there because most people who are on either side of it have different reasons. I extend manners because I know I'm a troll. So if you start a bit, I'm gonna follow it, thinking that you doing a bit. I don't fucking know. Even if you don't do the bit, I'm gonna continue it. So I know I have to extend manners because I know I'm a dick unintentionally because it's funny to me. Some things I say are funny. I better
Mm-hmm.
not be trying to be a dick. It's like you did it though. You know you if a girl sneezes and she sounds like a mouse, but she talk hood, oh, you know I'm gonna make fun of that, right?
It's
I'm
there. It's
going
there. The
to.
jokes write themselves.
You know, that's what I kind of agree with, dude. It is a thing. Like it's certain levels of manners are It's the societal expectation. Like that. That's the part I think that makes it weird. Because where does the line draw? Because like we walking together, you say you're engaged, your fiance, obviously that door should be held. that tire
Mm.
should be changed because now you're making a commitment. Like, all right, this woman, I'm gonna do all this for. You have any kids down the line? Those girls, if you got daughters, obviously you've committed. But
Yeah,
like,
but the deal I'm at is most people don't even like double check to see where these mannerisms even come from or what the origin of them. So like, why are you doing this? Like chivalry or whatever. Chivalry was invented by the knights of the Middle Ages to prove to the women they was trying to get that they weren't just brutal savages. That's it. That's why they said, "Hey, let's be nice to women for a change." And the whole world was like, "Oh shit, let's keep this going for a little bit. At least if you're trying to fuck them, let's be nice to them, right?" You know what I'm saying? No more just buying
sidebar
women.
before you continue. Please continue, but like, I put videos over the conversation, so I'm like, how intense of Viking videos can I put over that
Oh,
section
it's
of the
over there.
conversation?
Yeah, I'm in there because I live in visual history in my head. Like I read some history, I take a snapshot and I put it in order. I'm like, all right, that's what happened back then. They ain't fucking with me. Like,
No,
nah. Cause
no,
like
I
I'm a,
agree
I'm a
that.
realist. Like you say, it's a cynical view, but the real of it is that connotation matters way too much to the general public. How you feel about some words matters way too much. It being rude shouldn't stop you or start you from doing it. You just got to know that it's rude. You know that you yelling in public may cause you to get some eyes on you, so you make your decision to yell in public. You can make a decision to be nice to people or motherfucking not. You know what I'm saying? You having a day. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to hold the door for somebody because you thinking about your shit. It can be like, oh, you rude for not holding the door open for me. Well, you rude for not asking me, if I was having a bad day or not. You rude for assuming that I'm an asshole before I even had a chance to explain my day. Why do I even have to explain my day to you? Who are you? What's going on here?
That's another one. I'm gonna say
Who
it's
are
two things you said that
you?
I want to do the dot. I want to dive two things you just said because that's what we need to talk. We need to talk these sides out because I think some people, like I know a lot of people are scared to say certain things out loud because they think it sounds more rude than it
Mm,
actually is. Because I agree with you, like certain things is rude, but like what is it even called? Because this is a problem that like connects through society. Like specifically in the moment, like I'm holding the door, or like I just walk in and I don't hold the door, but like that person just instantly snaps. That situation I'm seeing right there is if I was blatantly displaying I was actually rude,
mm-hmm.
you probably wouldn't have said nothing to me. But
Mm,
because because this is a chivalry moment where that there's a good chance some other guy
ooh.
will intervene or like
I got
what
something
is
on
that?
that. So this deduction I made, because I made my deductions on society separate from how I feel about the actual action. Because reality versus perception is a real motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We in an empty room or are we in a room full of air? You know. So when it comes to
I'm
that,
too high
like
for you to be talking like that. I'm gonna be like
yeah, I be blowing my students' mind with that. That'd be my first week of college teaching. That's what I be talking about.
Period.
Like bloody minds. But it's like, oh damn, what's that? What was the question that you had posed right before I got into that?
It's the chivalry line expectation weirdness of it. Like it's the exploitation of chivalry. There we go.
Okay, yeah. So I came to this deduction that at least in our society, the person who's like crying the most, we consider the most correct, and that's not right.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't owe you anything. Oh, they're crying though. You should help them out. No. Can I go live my life? Nah, but you've hurt somebody's feelings. Okay, feelings get hurt every day.
And let me put it so the for the folks listen. I don't want none of you actual genuine assholes to quote us saying like, no. Some of y'all are genuinely dicks. You walking up to somebody like
Yeah, there's a
genuinely
difference.
saying unnecessary. Mind your motherfucking business.
Right.
If you don't like somebody outfit that you don't fucking know, you walking up to them doesn't like. I didn't put a timestamp on that. I hate to warn you like, hey, the 5 minutes left. Like you gonna kick me off the recording teams anyway. But it's like, mind your business. That's what we saying as a whole. And if you hurt somebody's feelings while you are genuinely minding yours, is what we talking about, people. Let's make sure we put the
Yeah.
lens on this.
Exactly. There's a difference between the intention and the actual action of what's going on. If your intention is evil, then yeah, if somebody is hurt, you deserve to get snapped on. But towards what you were saying earlier, if we kind of live in a bitch made society because of all of this niceness. So yeah, if I'm the biggest dude, if I'm actually swinging fists, if you know that person's swinging, you need to be ready to actually get your ass knocked out potentially if you want to swing with that person.
No,
But
yeah.
if you see that this person is either unassuming, you want to, and you feel the need to attack something because of something that's happening inside your soul that you need to go to therapy about, then that's that extra level of, yeah, they were minding their business. I'm not even gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that they don't think about it. They weren't paying attention. And all of this other stuff has nothing to do with, whether or not a person likes you, that you don't know, that you never met.
That
They
you
don't owe
probably
you
won't see
anything.
again.
And to me, it's a two-way street. Like, it's really mind your business to the fullest. You should only like care about the people that you care about besides yourself. There's a lot of motherfuckers on this planet. Like, you only got one
8
brain.
billion as of like November something. We have 8 billion on fucking, what is it? The census. We have 8
Mm-hmm.
billion actually on paper.
And then towards that deal, okay, humans been around for, let's say, I'm just gonna throw out a number. It's gonna be wrong. 3 million years, right? So let's say 3 million years. When did the motherfucking cell phone come out? 19 something. We have never had this much access to other motherfuckers in our lives.
Never, never.
It was our
Us right now.
community.
This is a live conversation on top and the bottom of the country.
And it wouldn't have mattered if you were in China. Well, we couldn't have had this conversation in China.
Yeah, I would say, wait a minute. I think there's some cutoffs would have happened at a point.
Yeah, we couldn't have made it. We love China.
Instant, man. Like, our internet would have cut off by itself. The bars would have just left.
Right.
No, this facts though, but like,
quick.
it's facts though. Like, this is a crazy part. Like, I say that even like in a lot of the religious debates, I'm like, this is weird. Like, the way we translate the Bible, we have to really, really think about it. Like, at that time, we can't take any type of lesson from the time periods was niggas was dying because they didn't know about wiping their ass. Right. If you wipe your ass, don't cook the food right after that. That was killing people. That's not the society we need to really be focused on.
Right.
Like,
that's when a cold could take your ass out.
You were done.
Right.
You get a splinter, niggas was running to you to hurry up and get it out because that's gonna be in you forever. No.
And I'm talking about when they was at war, they wasn't dying from getting stabbed. They was dying from bleeding out, from infection, because penicillin came out in 19, you know what I'm saying?
Right, like it wasn't an 18 or 750. They had other shit, but it wasn't the right shit. They had shit that just let you. They had the painkillers,
papayas and leaves and shit.
Yeah, painkillers though. At least niggas wasn't dying like completely in pain, you know.
No, I'm talking about the dumbasses in Europe that was just bloodletting because you had a headache.
The leeches. Like, there was so much leech action happening.
Right. They did not know what they was doing.
Oh, like, because even like the parts, like, what is the thing they did? I was reading it somewhere. I love British piece. I love like all time pieces that are Britishy. Not saying I watched Bridgerton. The missus watched Bridgerton. I kept up on.
Right. And my missus watched Bad Girls Club. I feel you, bro.
Right, he's like, what happened? Oh, tell me. But like, what was the, like if you were like a burn victim or something, they'll put like the fish or whatever to like eat the, it's certain. But like, it was some crazy thing. It was like they did it with like eels at a point, but they like would let them burrow under the skin. It was some crazy shit. I'm like, oh, see, y'all were right there at the right answer.
And then when you think about like all of that all that Bridgerton type era stuff, none of that shit, right? None of that shit was clean. You know what I'm saying? They weren't clean. It wasn't well lit. All of those people were under 40 years old.
Well under. The old guy was like 40.
The scariest dude in the room was honestly the 15-year-old because he was the king. And he was drunk because they didn't have clean water and they were probably all high off shrooms. And I'm like, bro, like we over here glorifying the shit out these like drug addicts, drunks that were chopping people's heads off because they tripped. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you want to put the glitz and glam over it because they said thee and thou, but right now we say ain't and finna, and that's finna be ancient language.
It's funny as hell, right? There is going to be a point in time, because even right now, the way me and you talk,
Mm-hmm.
my daughter's 3. She's gonna think the way we talk is the way we think our grandparents talk right now. And it's like, no, no, oh, that's not how language
Mm-hmm.
works.
Yep,
No, but
I
that's
said something to my students yesterday. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be like, if we say it's gonna be tight, that's it. Dope. No, I said dope, and they said you still say dope. And I'm like sitting there like, that's kind of universal. That's been going on since the '70s. You can't cancel dope.
we ain't let dope now. We millennials though, like the millennials, we all like damn, we'd have been killed it. If I was born in like the '60s, so I could have been a teenager in the '70s. Oh, I'd have killed it. I'd have killed it.
Oh, I've been here for it. Like, man, like if I like my dream decades have been born in uh, without the racism, but I've been born in the like the early 1950s. So by the time 1975 hit, I'm an adult. I'm
You a
in the
grown ass man.
bag.
Oh
I can
yeah.
do my drugs and have my unprotected sex, and everything will be right with the world.
I just want to point out for all the people that's somebody heard us talking shit about that British time era, and they're like, nah, it'd be awesome. Watch Harlots or any of those moments where they'll show you the female condom they was using at the time, and you tell me again if you're trying to get smashed
Like
back
throat
in
knuckle or some shit.
a chitlin. The chitlin.
Or watch Sweeney Todd. That's way more accurate.
Oh my goodness, you just knew it stunk so bad. Like it was chamber pots. Brit,
Like,
we
what
on
I'm saying?
time
Like
travel.
before the car, there was the horse carriage, right? Well, that was all over the place. They didn't have like a sewage system in England. It was really, really bad before the Moors showed up, you know?
See, it is why I'm so pissed about that verses. It was like I don't want to sound like a contrarian. The reason I said called it cynical is because I want to make sure certain points are heard the right way. So I was like, that sounded cynical. That's why let's make sure we explain that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want because I don't want to be misquoted like I tend to be. Because my mouth moves like my brain moves faster than my mouth. So
Mm-hmm.
point one and point seven I'll talk about at the same time and forget I did not say 2 through 6. Like, oh shit.
But that happens when people are like well read. But you know what? I was talking to my therapist about like, hey, how come my whole life everybody been
Shout
telling
out
me
to
to
therapy.
yeah, how come my whole life everybody been telling me to calm down? How come can't nobody else turn up? Why is that? Like, and his answer, well, his response that I've been pondering since past 2 weeks is basically that normal is down here. If you are abnormal, expect for you to get abnormal responses and abnormal results from people who are normal. And I'm like, but fuck that. No, no. I have a human brain. They have a human brain. But I can't not account for the fact that my timeline and my parents' timeline and all that good stuff. So to some extent, there's some grace to be extended, but to another extent, it's like you gonna have to read. You know what I'm saying? And it's very rare times that you get to have a conversation with somebody who's as well read and who has the like ability to separate opinion from fact from like your personal feelings about the situation. And
That's the
so
part.
you can talk from point one to point seven. You can be like, oh yeah, because this kind of history. And then they were like, oh yeah, I don't have to go back and explain all of that because you kind of picked up a book. Uh, and so like in the meantime, you gotta like but my struggle is when do I slow down? Because fuck y'all, pick up a book.
I don't know. That's the part I'm constantly trying to figure out. Like, what is the because I'm not like I don't want like I've been translating my marching band arranging skills into the like producing ish stuff for
Mm-hmm.
the sake of having those skills. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have a side conversation about that because
Okay.
it's a bunch of stuff I'm trying to get accomplished and it benefits everybody. And I'm trying to do this with the people who know me, because me trying to do this with a lot of strangers like I was trying to do made me have a lot of aggressive conversations unnecessarily. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm actually altruistic, nigga. But what I'm not gonna do is niggas get paid for something that we don't know if we will ever get paid for.
Mm.
Like, if we all are doing this, we all are committing to this. But it's not a anyway. Damn, what was I about to say? I so was about to get sidetracked.
Uh, um, uh, I'm a little hyper.
Triggered.
Give me a second.
Triggered. Translating skills over to a thing. Because you said so many things. Well
Yeah,
read.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was something real specific. I was about to bring the verses ultimately. That's what like it's. That's why I feel like it's the like this innate verses that we've dragged away from. Because we are. I am not blaming the Me Too movement. I am blaming the people who let the Me Too movement turn into cancel culture. Because Me
Mm.
Too was very simple. It was like, hey, I have never been. I knew you in high school. I was in college when you was in high school. I know for a fact you weren't this guy. I tried not to be this guy. We were never the hey, where my hug at guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the bar is so fucking low. But here's why. Let's dive right to the cringy statement I'm trying to get at. So
Mm.
everybody skip over all of them where my hug at statements, good guy, bad guy, whatever. The main issue with us not wanting to acknowledge good versus bad for real. We
Mm-hmm.
know Jeffrey Dahmer's a real motherfucker. That whole Netflix, like it just was there. It was big. We know you niggas saw it. I know you motherfuckers watched it. This real serial killers were a thing. They are real life today. I am knocking on wood, hugging a tree, and kissing a wood nymph. I know, unfortunately, there's probably a woman who either just got assaulted right now, for real, like
Mm-hmm.
for real. She was just minding her motherfucking business. This man she knows nothing of this nigga. This nigga was
Mm-hmm.
just crazy. There are real life bad people, but we're afraid to actually acknowledge that because again, like we can't separate feelings from opinion. You've dated 4 people in your lifetime. Why the fuck are you saying all men are horrible? You've met 4.
Mm. Bro, I want to say this part, man, because this is the real rule. So you want to say get past all the explaining and get to what's really happening? What's really happening, and there's a small number of people that is controlling the narrative for a vast majority of people, while simultaneously reducing the amount of access to education and reducing the mental space to receive that education in order to solve their own problems. And most of that shit comes into understanding your own psychology and how your brain receives information. And then there's the spiritual part of learning how to like be yourself and be your own frequency that is completely ignored by Western culture. So to answer your question of what happened is the same thing that happened to uh Egypt, the same thing that happened to the fucking civil rights movement, the same thing that happened to Black Lives Matter was that the message started out right, but then got hijacked by the few people who were controlling the narrative. Because
There it is.
I mean, I'm probably gonna get flagged for this. I mean, hopefully I get canceled for this. But it hit me like right around the Grammys and stuff like that, and right before the Super Bowl. I'm sitting here like, all these people that are like, yeah, congratulations, I hope to win the Grammy, I hope to do this, and that. I'm like, how many of us are really rushing to join the Illuminati? Because that's who they are, and that's how they celebrate each other, and that's the people who have the few small platforms. So it's like, if we're trying to get on them, what do you think? They're just gonna let our woke ass in for free?
Man,
Nah, they hijacked all our woke ass niggas, and they hijacked the movement, and they deter the narrative so that we never actually come together towards against the few people who are controlling a large narrative.
because like I don't as like when I think of these groups, because
Yeah.
I'm a thorough ass Mason. So like I want like the representation. I don't want anybody thinking it's like a room full of people conspiring, sitting at the conspiring table like evil villains. This is a bunch like the small group of people that control everything aren't even connected. It's a bunch of small groups that make up one toxic cancer because they control all the money. So
Yeah.
like they're not. It's a bunch of this group over here controls this much money. They don't give a fuck about that group, but they control so much more for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the like when people say Illuminati, I'm like, that's really what you be talking about because I'm not. I don't want to give people too much credit because like when
Yeah,
you
I
have
feel
so
you.
right because like when you have so much money at a point, you genuinely can make cripple a nation. You mean to tell me you've been able to do that since you were born into that?
Right.
That was what you were born into a family where if y'all decide to just move, a city like can go bankrupt. What? Just because y'all physically move, y'all didn't even move the company.
Yeah, and
You
that's
could,
and there's a whole different kind of psychology that goes into being that kind of person. And unfortunately, they can be completely detached from the general public's concept of how to live and control the general concept of how to live at the same time.
yeah.
So if they want more blank, blank, and blank when they go to Cincinnati, they can just call their homie and say, I need you to put up an advertisement for this so that the people around there keep the business going so I can get some when I get there. And I'm sitting here like, because and really the longer the short of it is, like, if I wasn't black, I'd be all down for it, because I'm black. All of this stuff negatively affects me because we're the root of all of kind of this. And so at the same time, it's like, but if we was on the winning team, we wouldn't be complaining.
See, that's the funny part. Like, I was in, I went to school in Ohio, so I got to see. I love to art. A lot of content I can't use because somebody gonna be pissed that me and you having this conversation. It's like, why that episode not get released? Because your ass ignorant. Y'all asses is ignorant. That's why. Like, cause I'm pro-black. I say all black people is sexy because my normal greeting is good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all my kings and queens. I'm talking about black people.
Mhm.
Everybody in between, but whatever. When it gets to a point where it's like, let me not get sidetracked. I brought up Ohio because it's like we can't keep saying, and this ties into my point about like stop setting the bar so low. There are actual real life serial insert the horrible acts.
Yeah.
Like that is a weird line drawn. So let's trace it on back to we got the whole Underground Railroad. You got all these white people who was up north who was like straight up like, ugh, y'all doing what to other people? They look awesome. They're bigger than us. They want to work with us. I don't want to. What is y'all problem? Bring them up. So like you have these white folks who like the only time there was an issue was when like that civil rights thing came up. But they wasn't even. But and this is where folks get offended because I was with these white people. I genuinely worked with so many white bosses who were accidentally racist.
Mm.
And it was like and they stuff that, and they would catch it themselves. Like it's like a lot of people see that think that they be being funny, but it's like no. If you are in that category, because it's a war between everybody. Because the
Mm.
whites, it was a war like before slavery, they were enslaving themselves. So it's a full money is that's why we say money's the root. It's the once you become rich, because like folk because those same all these educated white folks out there would bring up the we had Africans had African slaves before American slavery. Yes, it was different because of the same serfdom, but guess what?
Mhm.
Slavery is slavery. We just changed it nowadays because now we all got jobs.
Yeah.
And we're not even slaves to the job. We're slaves because you're indoors right now. We're indoors. That's what we're slaves to because the only way we can stay indoors is by competing in the system
Mhm.
and feeding them out. It's cringy because like some of these white folks is being black is the cliche. Insert all of the clichéness of what can get you famous being a black actor.
Mm.
Think about every TV show you've seen and the amount of white people. Think about that joke. What's old girl from The New Girl? The show The New Girl. That the main actress.
Ye-
I can't. I'm gonna put the picture up there on the screen for the fucking video because everybody be like, "What are you talking about?" It's like 15 actresses. They're all white females and they all look exactly the same.
Mm.
Like think about the black actors. Black actors. There's a shitload of people. Like in the black act. What's the old girl from 227? Mary. Her. Like that's the she. That what's the old girl who looked from Friday? You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like those. But think about the white actors. Like that. There's a shitload of. Let me make it specific. for the white, the clichéness of being white.
Mm-hmm.
Them blend them because they genuinely blend in. There's a shitload of white for any TV show. We need a white girl. That'd be
Mm.
the end of the statement. We need a white guy.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is there's a narrative being pushed because it's like it's not that they need a white guy because that's what's popular. That's what's popular because that's who they put up in the front. And it's not the other way around. It used to be. When they ask the question, does the art make the culture? Does the culture make the art? At this point, it's flipped where the culture is making the art to make the culture because the general population doesn't have access to pushing out our actual art.
No,
we have
truly.
we all have to we're all making compromises in certain different directions in order to make sure that we can reach as many people as possible. And that's the you asked me like what I want to talk about as far as like when I put it in the deal, but it's really this big deal where it's like art, we are not in a space where art and money can necessarily coexist in a mass scale
That's it.
unless we catch a wave locally. And I'm talking about not even catch it, start it, and continue to push that exact wave. But the kind of society that we live in right now, there's no way to do that and maintain a livelihood. So at some point, somebody's gonna have to supplement your lifestyle, which is where the record labels and all the big deals come in, is where they
Mm-hmm.
basically they give you an advance or they pay you straight up to supplement your life while you create whatever it is that you create. But see, if I was the machine, if I was the monster, I wouldn't hire nobody that would create anything that would destroy me. And they did a good job of brainwashing so many people that they already in line. I think of people like Doja Cat. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to do nothing to Doja Cat to make her into what she is. She showed up on the scene trying to be that.
Yeah.
And all of these other industry plants, Mulatto, she was raised into this. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't no accident. And the whole thing's flipped. People think that we the fucking consume the consumer is the producer right now. And they didn't flip the whole thing on us. We working for each other, and they
Mm-hmm.
get all the money. And that's where I'm like, no, that's where they didn't flipped it on us. And then with all this, everybody's opinion is, relatively valid, but ultimately, unless you finna swing over it, what's the point? We just talking into the internet. And in the meantime, you got people that like live their whole life off the internet, where that
Mm-hmm.
is where they have validation and reality and stuff like that, based on an algorithm that's supposed to make you feel like that. Like it's scientifically proven that if you spend extra time on your motherfucking phone and on your devices, that you will get depressed.
It's true.
Nigga, Facebook got sued and lost over it.
It
I'm
was.
sorry,
I
Instagram. It is like
um.
yeah, I'm just going to this last piece out. So it's like the root of it to fix it all, we need to really turn off a shit ton of devices and start showing up to church. Not necessarily religious church, but we need to show up in groups together and really reestablish our community culture.
No facts. Facts. See, no. See, this is one of the parts where I didn't need. I'm sidebarring saying what you said was like we're talking to people who are read, and we don't hate to say educated because I keep
Mm-hmm.
using that scene from School Days when they was
Mm-hmm.
at KFC because it's like we's niggas anyway, but like people like I'm not cutting you off, I'm sorry, I just get excited. Like, people say like things that are like really worthy. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I wasn't cutting you off, but just if I said something right there, I won't forget what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, but you're right. It's that state of despair I was referencing earlier. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it adds to it because like we I love that meme I seen where somebody had like the picture side by side. It was like a tweet that went viral where it was like from the mattress on the floor to just having your mattress on a bed frame with a little dresser. It was like I love to see realistic growth. That is the truth. We don't see enough of that in all actuality because it does make you feel a little depressed like me now, it's not it is because it's not that I haven't known what I wanted to do in my life. It's just I didn't expect to live this long.
Mm,
So like I didn't have a backup plan. I don't have a backup plan. I didn't have a backup plan to not being a teacher
mm,
because I never wanted to be a teacher. I really never wanted to be a teacher, but you know my family.
mm.
You know my family, they're all teachers and preachers. I'm like, I don't want to teach, but you're good at music. I'm really not. I'm a jack of all. Like, I really wish I would have pursued like communications or radio broadcasting or something like that. Because I'm like, no, I'm just good. I am good at. I'm a millennial. We're all good at whatever
Hmm.
you put us in front of that can keep our attention.
Yeah, we're gonna excel at it.
It's a, we all got at least like 6 careers under us that we would look right
Yeah,
doing. But like that's the thing. It's just I agree with it. So it's a little not to say disheartening, but I'm with it. I'm saying this for the for other folks feeling this way because we got to keep pushing. We're in
yeah.
control. It's just you got
Hmm.
it different piece of life. I intentionally started this podcast so that I can have a reason to catch up with people I know, to have a reason for us to have intellectual conversations.
Mm.
That's my extreme ulterior motive because it's peaceful. Y'all say and I get y'all want to see me be loud and say a bunch of stuff and all that shit, so I put it in a video. And it gives me time to practice some stuff. Because me and Gecko, we just did a music video just because. Someone's like, you trying to be a rapper? No, we put the meme up all the time. Just a rapper for fun. We make music we want to listen to.
Hmm.
And a lot of stuff bores me. It just bores me. I
Yeah,
listen
but
to
that's that
everybody's
art,
amateur
man,
music.
and that's that art piece. There's a difference between an art and a product. I had this. I use a chair analogy. Like, you look around, you see a normal chair. Like, let's say if you're in a cafeteria or something. So, like, check that chair out. How artistic is it? It ain't nothing but a piece of plastic, 4 legs, right? But how many of them are in this room? 200. You think that this motherfucker went to art school and architecture school so he can make this little piece of plastic, blah, blah, blah? No. But do you think he could make a grand lazy boy made out of gold? Potentially. But how many of them motherfuckers he finna sell? So art, the art is gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to make some money, make a product. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you just got to know the climate that we're in. The climate that we're in is that, there's not much room to pay for art. Uh, because of mass consumption, because of mass media, and then AI is fucking the shit out of all artists of all demographics. Now I'm talking about they can make trap beats. Them motherfuckers can make the lyrics, and you can put them in the voice of 2 Chains, and
Mm-hmm.
you got a song. And I'm sitting here like, so
Bro,
what?
bro,
Hold
I
on, hold
was
on.
scrolling YouTube the other
What's that
day.
mean? What's that mean? When it's like, am I a joke to you? Like,
For real. Like, ah, I was scrolling YouTube, be just scrolling to look at other people's stuff because like I hate sitting in any writing session with people and they be just like putting on a YouTube playlist. And I'm sitting there like I got like 1,000 beats you could listen to that are all actually original.
mm-hmm,
Cool. But let's play this YouTube playlist. And I started scrolling a lot of these because it was bothering me because like I can't get behind a lot of these regular beats because like it's not you can't write it. I don't
mm-hmm,
feel like I don't need to be involved. Not to say it has to be
right.
complicated because if you listen to like Rise and Grind, it's super simple, but you could write the rhythms out in it. Everything you hear, you can write the rhythms out happening. But like at least 8 of those YouTube channels that were listed that were these guys play constantly. They've got like millions of viewers. Every video, millions of views, and people are using these samples. They are AIs.
Mm,
Those YouTube channels, if you were to just click on the user, it says it in there. Like, yeah, I use the AI to make this.
mm-hmm. I'm gonna be on the same shit. I ain't gonna start.
You got an
Cause it's
AI use it.
yeah, if it's because they call it, like, do you call it cheating or do you call it using the tools that's available to you? You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, then every professional bowler is cheating.
And I,
So it's like, do you? And then like, cause that's the same argument that motherfuckers have with auto tune. It's like, well, anybody can sing, man. It's like it's a tool. It'll get me to point A to point B faster. But here's the difference though. Put that motherfucker on stage, they gonna get
Nah, fact.
exposed.
Because T-Pain
So
still killing the game when he come on motherfucking stage. Folks was like, T-Pain to sound ass by himself. He won the Masked Singer.
right,
Come on, people. Stop
right.
blowing it out
So
your ass.
right, chill out on my dude. And then
There's
go
a
to the
side
practice
thing I
room.
need to ask you.
Uh
It's very so like there are about to be some very random side questions I ask you.
Dad, I got about 10 minutes.
Oh, let me dive right into them then, really fast, because I didn't need really. I don't even need to do too much. Just pick three numbers, 1 through 100.
34, 43, and 12.
Because it's this what you call it verse I got. Next time we do this, it's gonna be a panel. I'm trying to get to a lot of people's character. This is your episode introduction.
Oh shit. I know.
So like people know how folks talk. So once we do the skipping to the skipping straight to the fucking point. So you said 34 or 42?
34, 43, and 12.
Because like so as we do the skipping around in topics and everything, it makes sense. Everybody can put everything directly into context. So like
Mm.
like listen to the last episode. So you can say it like I was saying last to bring it up. Boom.
But
But
okay.
it's also a nerdy half of this because my main thing is to talk about is to not so much explain or preach anything in anyone, but to expose point of view because we all have
Gotcha.
point of views and we're
Mm-hmm.
like let's appreciate them all so we can actually appreciate the world. Because knowing that, because yes, I don't always like to be mannerable. I hold the door equally for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
That is an equal hold the door. If I'm standing right there, and plus I got long arms, so I'm a guy. I'm going to reach for the stuff off the top shelf for everybody. I said, me and Luda was at the gym the other day, and what was it? Just we was watching her, and I know she thought we was watching her because she was cute or whatever, but we was like she was trying to use the deadlift. Somebody
Oh.
had 3 plates on each side, and it was at least tall enough for like a me to lift it. We was just we seen her just struggling. It was like she gonna lose her chin.
Y'all heating her ass and she thinking you
we
something.
we was like, all right, man, you need help, shorty. You need some height help. We just tried to make it like give you some, but like I want to strive for a world to live in where we do have this regularness because I understand have you. We say receivers and wielders to be PC about this because if you're a receiver on all of the denominations, I get it, especially if you're a straight up, if you're a male wheels, if you're a male receiver, you are at the same amount of risk of getting snatched up in the alley as any like cisgendered heterosexual female because they know you like to take it. So they're like, oh yeah, in their mind, because
Mm-hmm.
guess what? There are bad people. There are actual villains. There are
Mm-hmm.
actual bad people. Don't count life against the in the time frame where we really don't know nothing. Unfortunately,
Right.
we like timestamp permanently our opinion on other people too. Those
Mm-hmm.
teenage years is like, oh yeah, people that didn't know. None as teenagers, we're evil. Yes, teenagers and down from like what is it, maybe 5 to like
Yep.
17. Evil.
Morally, it corrupts. Like seriously. Oh, bro, I got something. I've been saying. I've been meaning to say this on a public platform, but I look back at a 17-year-old Damon. You know what I would have told him, bro? Be a worse person than you think you can be, because no one by the time you get 30 is gonna care about what you did between the ages of 15 and 22. At the 23, then people might remember for the rest of your life. But between that time, between high school and college, do it all. Say
Live.
it, do it, get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was doing it, and apparently they turned out great. You know what I'm saying? They absolved of all their sins because they are real estate agents or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You wrote a book on motivation when you used to pick on this other guy. Like, fuck you, bro. But they don't know
No,
that.
no, no. Oh, me and Gecko was talking about this the other day. We was like, there are still some people to this day dead ass. Like, if I was to see you as an adult, I'm gonna hit you in the chin.
You catching the fade because you wasn't
Just,
shit and you permanently ain't shit. I don't care how you grow as a person.
I don't give a fuck what you've done, what communities you've helped. I don't give a fuck. On site, if I remember dude last name, I would just post it across the. I would just have his initials with getting exploded across for that. That'd be the thumbnail. Cause fuck Buddy at anyway. I'm gonna digress because ultimately the DTN network platform is if we all winning, we all winning. That is like the motto. If everybody literally everybody wins. If the nigga flipping burgers at McDonald's works 32 hours a week and that averages out to $75,000 a year, guess what? Every other position above that, everywhere will be able to be paid well. Because if everyone is paid well, everyone will be paid well. Because we're gonna spend the money. We have to. We have to spend the money. And money's fake. We based it off of, we said, hey, gold, turn this into a piece of paper just so people won't have to suck a dick eventually for bartering. That's all. But we're going to wrap it on, because I really appreciate you, bro. We're going to schedule this time to bring you back on.
Not prostitution, is bartering. That's a service.
That's all we have. Because what you gonna say on the farmer? The farmer who really got the farm for real. He got the cows, the sheep. He got goats. He got crops in every direction. What you gonna? He show up. What you need? He like, hey, I need this. What you got for me though? I've got this books. What do I need books for?
I got this. I got these coins. You mean coins to buy this?
We did it. I never thought we would make it this far. I'd be the first to admit it. They took us both out of our glow, but we got out and got right back in it. 100 bands, we check up back, do the money dance. We used to hit licks, do the running man. Now we blowing up like a Taliban. Started from nothing, no introduction. Went to the kitchen, hopped in the oven. Got 3 for the 50, it ain't no discussion. Take it or leave it, I gotta keep trucking. I'm sorry, I gotta keep moving. Some say my life was a movie. Drugs got me feeling woozy, feeling slide on the groove. All my life, all I wanted was a check. All this ice hanging around my neck. The bitch ain't want the money, all she wanted was the sex. I ain't never stop until I know that I'm the best. All my life, all I wanted was a check. All this ice hanging around my neck. The bitch ain't want the money, all she wanted was the sex. Yeah, ain't never stop until I know that I'm the best. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
We came from the bottom, from finding a way to go get it. Go get it. Hey.
Now we on top, nigga. Now we put on for our city. Yeah.
Say huncho, you get it, LeBron. Can't wait till the day that we win it. Can't wait.
You can rest in peace now, bro, cause nigga, we did it.
We with it.
We win it.
We with it.
We did it.
We with it.
We win it. Yeah.
We with it.
We did it.
We with it.
We win it. Yeah.
We with it.
We did it.
We with it.
We win it. Yeah.
We with it.
We did it.
Got a couple lying on my base. I grew up in the woods, yeah, the streets. Why these niggas hating on me? They must've wanna see a nigga win. So I'm playing chess, I'm not playing check. Cause every move I make, it gotta be effective. Real talk, I gotta be real, I can't fake it. I remember every teacher that told me I couldn't make it. I'm a boss, look at me now, I know you hate it, taking off. Look at the clouds for motivation. I'm a boss, I'm a winner, I'm an innovator. Put it on my soul to this million, but I'm dedicated, yeah. Win, I never lose, boy, I never snooze. Get to the guap, making boss moves. Yeah, making boss moves. We came from the bottom, from finding a way to go get it. Go get it, hey.
Now we on top, nigga, now we put on for our city. Yeah.
2 say huncho, you get it, LeBron. Can't wait till the day that we win it. Can't wait.
You can rest in peace now, bro, cause nigga, we did it.
We with it.
We win it.
We with it.
We did it.
We with it.
We win it. Yeah.
We with it.
We did it.
We with it.
We win it. Yeah.
We with it.
We did it.
We with it.
We win